Okay, this one was done. Same goes to this. We should be looking at this. Okay, question 5, the last question of this paper. Okay, so we start. We look at question 8. Name the book of prime entry which Amira would use to obtain the following information when preparing her sales ledger control account and purchases ledger control account. This question is a super easy one, easy to get the 10 marks. So let me make you recall by showing you the notes. It's asking you where each number come from. Okay, where each numbers come from to do the control account. Okay, not here. It's chapter 9. These two are the tables that you can use to do the question A. Okay, so each of the numbers in control accounts, they come from the book of prime entry. Okay, there are 7 books of prime entry, and you have 7 options. Okay, as your answers. So first one, check refund to the credit customer. You could get the figure from the cash book. Okay, this one, general journal. Written by credit customer. This is a sales returns. Sales returns. It comes from sales return journal. Interest charge on customers overdue account. Payment from credit customer. Discount allowed. The figure comes from cash book. Refund from credit suppliers, also from cash book. When you see interest charge, is from general journal. Payment to the credit supplier, cash book. Okay, so there you go. These are the answers. Yeah, so remember there are 7 books of prime entry. Okay, there are 7 books of prime entry. Now I'm explaining why for certain things is general journal. Sales journal will tell you the credit sales. Okay, if you are trying to get the amount for credit sales, then you look at the sales journal. Okay, when you are looking for amount for sale returns, then you look at the sale return journal. Okay, when there is sale returns, you look for it in the sale return journal. And purchaser journal, it gives you what? It gives you credit purchases. When you buy goods on credit, you look for the figure in the purchaser journal. Purchaser return journal, when you return goods back to the supplier. And cash book, when you receive money or making payment, you look for it in the cash book. And petty cash book involves payment of expenses that are small in amount. Payment of expenses that are small in amount. And general journal always look at this as the last dustbin in the recycling activities. Last dustbin in the recycling activities. Last dustbin in the recycling activity. The analogy. Because the function of general journal is to record transactions that cannot be recorded in other books of prime entry. That means you see a transaction that cannot be categorized, you throw it into the general journal. That's why for certain things here, the answer is general journal. Like bad debts, it doesn't belong to, you cannot get this figure from any of the other books of prime entry here, therefore general journal. And interest charge, you also cannot get this figure from any other books of prime entry, therefore it's from the general journal. That's the function of general journal. Record transactions that cannot be recorded in other books of prime entry. Same goes to this one. Okay, therefore, these are the answers. First one, check refund to credit customer. You're making payment, right? Okay, we are making payment. The figure can come from the cash book. Returns by credit customer. Yixin, you must first know what is the function of sales journal. You must remember what is the function of sales journal. Sales journal, the function of it is used to record credit sales. When you sell goods on credit, you record into the sales journal. Are you selling goods on credit here for the first one? No. You are refunding money to your customer. You are making payment to the customer. So cash book. Okay, you are not selling goods on credit here. Okay, yeah? And okay, therefore, first one, check refund to credit customer. You are making payment to the customer. Cash book. Okay, it comes from the cash book. Cash book is used to record receipt and payment of money. If I see one item here, let's say there's one more question here. Let's say they ask you credit sales. Okay, they ask you where do you get the figure from for credit sales? Where do you get the number for credit sales? Then sales journal. The number comes from sales journal. Okay, so this table is quite easy to do, unless you have forgotten the name of book or prime entry. Okay, so therefore you must remember the names of the 7 books of prime entry. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, we see the next question. 2 reasons why prepare purchases ledger control account. Answer you can get from the notes easily. Okay, is from the chapter 9. Okay, so I don't want to discuss these two, very easy. Okay, now we look at the question C. Select relevant number and prepare what? Prepare purchases ledger control account for the month of September. Balance the account, bring down the balance. So purchase ledger control account, think of this as total trade payable. Total trade payables. You can also see this as the combination of all the suppliers account. Okay, let's say you have a lot of suppliers and you owe money to them. Okay, so you will open the account, right? Because we owe money to the suppliers. So you combine all these suppliers account into single account. We call it as purchases ledger control account. Here is plus, here is minus. Plus means that's the side which makes us owe more to the supplier. This is the side which makes us owe less to the supplier. Okay, just like when you do a supplier account. Okay, credit side would make us owe more to the supplier. Debit side of the supplier account would make us owe less to the supplier. If you are doing sales ledger control account, which is a combination of all customers account, plus and minus are on different side. Okay, you know where is the plus and minus for customer and supplier account, then doing this is very easy. Okay, again, the challenge is you have to decide for each number, it should go to the debit side or it should go to the credit side. How many marks? 12 marks. Okay, a lot of marks here. So we see the numbers given. Hold on, yeah, let me put it side by side. Okay, this way easier. Okay, can see, yeah. Now maybe I enlarge it a bit more. Okay, best possible view for you. She provided following info for September 2016. September 1st, debit balances in purchases ledger, credit balances in purchase ledger. So this is the opening balance. Okay, opening balance. 93, 4210. So one on the debit side, another one on the credit side. So you write 93 here, 4210 here. Okay, right, balance PD. Sorry, the 93 should be here. Balance PD. And then the date is 2016, September 1st, 2016, September 1st. Okay, so that's how you begin. In certain questions, they may not tell you whether the amount should be on the debit or credit side. Let's say you don't have this. Okay, let's say you don't have the 93 and you have been given only 4210. We have been given only 4210. And they don't tell you that this is credit balances. Okay, so they tell you that the total trade payable is 4210 on September 1st. When there's only one balance, okay, but you do not know whether it's debit or credit balance, when you are doing purchases ledger control account, for sure it is the credit balance. Because logically, we should owe money to the supplier. Okay, usually, logically, we should owe money to the supplier. Therefore, we call it the usual balance. Usually, the balance should be on the credit side. Okay, so if you see certain questions where they give you only one amount at the beginning of the year, they don't tell you whether it's on the debit or credit side. If you are doing purchase ledger control account, then it should be on the credit side because that's the usual balance. Okay, so if we happen to come across those questions, I will remind you again. Let's come back to this. So what is the usual balance for sales ledger control account? For SLCA, the usual balance is on the debit side. Logically, customer should owe to us money. Okay, so the usual balance is on the debit side. Okay, so this question is easier. They let you know whether the amount is on the debit or credit side. Continue. Totals for the month. Credit purchases means you buy goods on credit. Okay, we buy goods on credit. This should make us owe more to the supplier, right? This will make us owe more to the supplier. So if you want to avoid picking up the wrong numbers, I strongly advise you to do this. It's an exam technique. Okay, I've seen many cases where students take the wrong number. Okay, if you do something like this, you draw lines to put the numbers into batches, you can pick up the numbers more correctly, more accurately. Okay, really, it's something that many students make mistake for. So with the lines drawn, you can easily pick up the numbers. 5366. Okay, so it makes us owe more to the supplier. You can also think of it this way. When you buy goods on credit, you debit purchases, you credit supplier account, right? Okay, debit purchases, credit supplier account, right? Therefore, the 5366 appears here because we credit supplier's account. Okay, what about the date? The date you may write the month end because the month end is here. Okay, the 5366. Okay, next one, cash purchases means you buy goods and then you pay immediately. Okay, we buy goods and then we pay immediately. That's the meaning of cash purchases. So should this be recorded in the part C? So you try to think, then you tell me yes or no. The cash purchases 1469. Should I record this into the purchase ledger control account? Good. Okay, 2 of you have answered. Okay, 3 of you have answered. Good. Because when you buy goods and pay immediately, you credit either cash or bank, then you debit purchases. See, therefore, it would not touch the supplier's account. Therefore, don't take this into account. Okay, you see the question carefully. It says select the relevant figures. Okay, that means certain numbers can be ignored. Certain numbers can be ignored. It says select the relevant. Select. That means some numbers don't need to be used. Okay, now see the next one. 3705. Checks paid to credit supplier. We make payment to the supplier with check. Credit bank, debit supplier, right? Credit bank, debit suppliers. So see the purchase ledger control account as suppliers account. 3705. Here write bank. Okay, and then write the date here. Okay. Don't tell me this is debiting bank. Yeah, this is not debiting bank. This is debiting suppliers account. Okay. The detail is always the name of the other account. And then next one. Wait. We are doing, okay, correct. Purchase ledger control account. So yes, got to do with our supplier. Next item, check received from credit customer. So customer who owe money to us, right now they pay us the money. Okay, they settle the debt. It should appear in sales ledger control account. Here, 6102. Okay, in sales ledger control account. Okay, customers making payment to us to settle debt. Okay, so not in the purchase ledger control account. Okay, just now this number was not used, and this time once more this number should not be used. Discount allow. The discount allow means we allow our customers to take cash discount. We allow our customer to take cash discount. Discount allow. So it should be here, sales ledger control account. Therefore, 204 doesn't need to be used. Discount received. We receive cash discount from supplier. We receive cash discount from supplier. It is here, 95. Discount received. Okay. Returns to credit supplier. We return goods back to credit supplier. We call it as purchases return. This is purchases return, right? Return goods back to credit supplier. Okay, here, it makes us owe less to the supplier. 197. Purchases returns. Okay, last one. Interest charged by supplier on overdue account. We owe certain supplier money for a long time and we don't care about it. So supplier charge us interest. So it makes us owe more to the supplier. $12 is here. You may write interest charge. Okay, next. Cash refund from credit supplier. Maybe sometimes we may have overpaid to the supplier. Sometimes we may have overpaid to the supplier. Okay, I believe you have bought things online before. Sometimes the quantity units shown in the website, okay, the e-commerce website, they show to you that certain items there are two quantities left. But in fact, the seller didn't update the website to show that the quantity is actually 0. They actually do not have stock. So you bought things online and yeah, you bought that thing that actually that's no longer in stock anymore. So you paid, and then after a while, a few days later, supplier email to you telling you that there's no stock for this item, so they refund to you. Okay, yeah. So this is one example. Cash refund received from credit supplier. So we receive money from supplier. Debit cash, right? Because you got the refund in the form of cash. Credit supplier. Okay, therefore 150 is here. Here you write cash. Okay. Contra entry. Contra entry is about the cancellation of the overlapping amount. Oh, I owe you 3,000. You owe me 2,005. Okay, let me repeat. Yeah, here carefully. I owe you $3,000. You owe me $2,500. So I owe you more than you owe me, right? By 500. Okay, I owe to you more than you owe to me by 500. Therefore, eventually, only I have to pay you 500, right? So what is the meaningless amount? The meaningless amount is 2005, right? Therefore, contra entry is about canceling the meaningless amount. Okay, because I owe you 3,000, you owe me 2005. The meaningful amount is actually 500 because I owe you 500, right? More. So we record this. Cancellation of the meaningless amount is here. Why? Because the minus is here. Okay, we are removing the meaningless amount. Here you write sales ledger control account. Okay, finally, you have one amount left. Then there's a question mark here. This is the beginning of next month. Debit balances, credit balances. Okay. Always see the word balance as balance PD. Okay. Always see the word balance as balance PD. Otherwise, you would make mistake really. Short form, yeah. No, try not to write short form. If the school accept your short form when they mark your work, then maybe it's an exception. Okay, but do not write short form. Okay, one more question from one of you. Why the word cash is here? Okay, are you asking this one? Wenhui? Okay, because we receive, you are looking at this one, right? Cash refund received from credit supplier. You receive money from the supplier. So debit cash, credit supplier. So we are doing a supplier's account here, right? Therefore, view credit supplier 150. Detail you write name of the other account. When you get this? Because it is because of this. This means what? The 93 means what? 93 means the debit balance means suppliers owe to us. This figure means supplier owe to us. Why supplier owe to us? We probably have overpaid. That's why suppliers owe to us. And this figure is what we receive to offset this. Because due to certain reasons, supplier owe to us, maybe we have overpaid. And therefore, right now we receive money from the supplier so that it can offset the amount supplier owe to us. Wenhui can understand? Okay. You understand what is meant by the 4210? We owe to the supplier. We owe to the supplier. Yeah. And what does the debit balance means? 93. Supplier owe to us. Supplier owe to us. Maybe we have overpaid to them, so they owe to us. Okay. There are many suppliers, okay? Most of the suppliers we owe to them, but for some suppliers, they owe to us. So they owe us money, they must pay to us, right? Therefore, the 150, you receive money. because they owe us money. So debit cash, credit supplier, therefore is here. Can understand? When we in T account don't show minus, yeah. In T account do not show minus, yeah. Yeah, 93 means we supplier owe us the $93. Okay, therefore we have to receive the money from the supplier. Therefore, debit cash, credit supplier account. Why the 150 also the supplier owing us money? No, the 150 is not the amount that the suppliers owe to us in it. Let me try to see this again. Okay, so Ishin, you're asking why this is on the credit side, right? Because you are receiving money from the supplier. And it's used to offset the 93 because supplier owes us money, the $93. But I know the 150 is more. This is a mistake of the question. They should not use 150. It should be 93 or below. The question made a mistake here. It should not be 150. We owing less money? No, 93 means we owe to the supplier. Sorry, supplier owe to us. 93 means the supplier owe to us. 93 means supplier owe to us. So we have to receive the money from supplier, the 150 to offset the 93. You are not having just one supplier, okay? You have many suppliers. You have many suppliers. For some suppliers, you owe money to them, 4210. And 93 is just a few supplier, they owe money to us. You don't see this as just one supplier here, okay? Don't see this question as just one supplier here. Aren't we owing less money? We all pay to the supplier, therefore this 93 appears. We all pay the supplier, so this 93 appears. Do you agree? Okay. And so supplier must pay to us, right? Some suppliers who owe us the $93, we should receive the money from supplier, right? Therefore, when you receive money from supplier, debit cash, credit here. So Shamin asks, if I thought if we owe 494, we owe 494. The 494 is about the contra entry, means we have to cancel the overlapping amount owed. Cash refund means we owe less money to the supplier. No, why we owe less money to the supplier? Supplier owe us money. Yishin, you get the idea? $93 means supplier owe money to us. So with the 150 cash refund means supplier pay us money. So supplier will owe us less. You have to understand in the first place, the $93 means we owe to the, supplier owe to us. $93 means supplier owe to us. Okay. And when you get the $150 cash refund, means we get money from the supplier. So supplier will owe us less, not we owe less to the supplier. Maybe I draw a clearer picture to you. Maybe you are still not thinking that this account is an account that combines all the suppliers account. But it's going to take me 10 minutes. Okay. Oh yeah, opening a new page. Actually, I do not understand what you understand. Okay, so I'm trying to explain in detail what is purchase ledger control account. Let's say there are 3 suppliers. Okay, there are 3 suppliers. So this is a supplier 1 account, supplier 2 account. Let's give them a name, shall we? Let's give them a name. Ali, Abu, and Siti. Okay, all the suppliers account in what account? All the suppliers account appear in, sorry, which section of the book? Ledger book, right? Purchases ledger. Okay, all the suppliers account appear in purchases ledger section, right? Okay. Oh yeah, let me try to create the scenario. And then sales ledger. So sales ledger section contains what? Customers account, right? And in this situation, Abu is both our customer and supplier. Okay, Abu is both our customer and supplier. Okay. So meaning we buy things on credit from Abu. Abu also buy things on credit from us. Okay. City is our supplier, but due to certain reasons, City owes us money. Okay, probably we have overpaid City. Okay, probably we have overpaid City. So City owes us money. Okay, okay, so far I can understand. Okay, the situation is easy. Okay, and then let me continue to create the scenario. Hold on, yeah, let me try to think of certain numbers. Okay, so we owe to Abu 1,000. Okay, we owe to Abu 1,000. And we owe to Ali 3,210. Okay. And then Abu owes to us 506. Let me try to think again. Sorry, 494. Okay. Abu owes to us 494 because Abu also buy things on credit from us. Okay, Abu owed to us 494. We owe to Abu $1,000. Okay. So let me repeat the situation again. Here you have 3 persons, Ali, Abu, and Siti. They are all our suppliers, okay, because we buy goods on credit from them. For Ali, we owe money to Ali, 3,210. We also owe money to Abu, 1,000, because we buy goods on credit from them. But for Siti, situation is special because people probably we have all paid to Siti. So City owes us money right now. That situation is quite rare, okay, but it may happen. That's why some exam questions may ask you, why can you have a debit balance in purchases ledger control account? Okay, so you may say, probably we have all paid to the supplier. And for this one, 494, because we also buy goods on credit from Abu, and Abu also buy goods on credit from us. So we buy and sell from one another. Okay, for the 494 here means Abu owes to us. Okay, because Abu buy goods on credit from us. Okay, so far, everyone, you can understand this situation right now before I continue. If you have understood what I said for this situation, you let me know then. Then I continue to explain. Yes, I'm going to explain why the 150 is on the credit side. Okay, good, yeah, so far can understand, yeah. Now I continue to explain. Some of you do not understand about why the 150 is on the credit side, right? Okay, some of you do not understand why the 150 is on the credit side. And some of you are asking me why the sales ledger control account 494 is on the debit side. Okay. You have to first understand that we settle Abu first, okay? We settle Abu first. We talk about contra entry. Contra entry means we are removing the meaningless amount, okay? The meaningless amount O. So we look at Abu. Abu owes to us 1,000. We owe to us, sorry, not we owe to us. Okay, Abu owes to us. Abu is our supplier. We owe to Abu 1,000. Okay, we owe to Abu 1,000. Abu owes to us 494. So we owe to Abu more, right? We owe to Abu more, right? By how much? 506. Okay, we owe to Abu more by 506. Okay, agree, yeah? We owe to Abu more by 506. So what is the meaningless amount here? The meaningless amount is 496 because Abu doesn't have to pay us, right? Because we only have to pay to Abu 506. So the meaningless amount in this situation is 494. So how do you do the contra entries? You have to debit the Abu that is in the purchases ledger. You have to also credit the Abu in the sales ledger. 494. This is contra entry. You learn it in the chapter 8. Okay, so therefore, let's record this. You have to debit the Abu that's in the purchases ledger, 494. And then you have to credit the Abu that's in the sales ledger, 494. Then here write Abu, bracket sales ledger. Here write Abu, bracket purchases ledger. Okay, so everyone, you can understand this contra entry. If you can, you let me know. Then I continue to explain. I explain it step by step. Okay, good, Kelly. Okay, I wait for the rest. Okay, try to digest this contra entry. Okay, good, Yixin can understand this part. Benjun Wenhui, Crystal can understand this part, contra entry. This is not compensating error, yeah. Okay, Crystal, just now I saw that you asked something about whether it has something to do with compensating error or not. Not at all. There's nothing to do with compensating error. Then I continue to explain. We talk about city. We talk about city. Okay, we talk about city. We owe money. City owes us money, right? $93. Due to certain situation, city owes us money. Why? Because probably you have overpaid to city. We have overpaid to city. Therefore, city owes us the amount $93. So do you agree city should pay to us? Yes, right? So that's how the 150 comes about. And I said that the question make a mistake, they should not use 150. Okay, they should not have used 150. They should use an amount that is 93 or lower. They should not use 150. Okay, it's a mistake made by the question, but they seem not to care because it won't affect answer. It won't affect students answering the question. So assume that we receive money from city 150. What is your tab entry when you receive money from city in the form of cash? So receive 150 cash from city. You will debit cash, right? Okay, this simple tab entry, you know. Debit cash 150, credit city 150. Therefore, you put 150 here. Then you write cash. Okay, and now let me explain how this leads to doing the purchases ledger control account. Purchase ledger control account is the combination of all the suppliers account into one single account. Therefore, let me do it. This is a purchases ledger control account. So what should I do? I should combine, right? Okay, so now I combine and then you see. So on the debit side, I have 93, okay, balance BD. At the same time, let me settle the debit side first, okay? Debit side, I have 494, okay, 494. Okay, this is contra entry. Here we should write sales ledger control account. Okay, when you are doing purchase ledger control account. Then on the credit side, what do I see? These two amount, 4210. Okay, combine the balance BD, 4210. Okay, and then on the credit side, I also have this 150. So right here, 150 cash. So Ishin, do you still not understand why the 150 on the credit side? You cannot understand? The rest of you can understand what I have explained. You have to understand what I'm explaining now. I'm trying to explain to you why this is here. Okay, some of you ask me why this is here. Okay, why this is here. Okay. Okay, good. Shamin, Wenjun, Wenhui can understand. There's no other methods that I can use to explain this. Okay, I think this is the most detailed method I am using to explain to you. Okay, so if you still do not understand, then you rewatch this again. Okay, this purchase ledger control account is the combination of all the suppliers account. Okay, and for some suppliers, for certain suppliers, due to certain reasons, we all pay to the supplier, like City. So City now refund back to us. Okay, so we debit cash, credit City. So that 450 is here. I know the figure should not be 150. It should be 93 or lower. The question made a mistake. Okay, but about positioning, you must know why it's on the credit side. Okay, therefore it's here. Okay, now let's move on. Let me close this here. Do you still need this? I'm not going to save here. Okay, I discard it. Okay, now we continue. Okay, let me erase the writing first. Too messy here. Okay, now I can continue. We are talking about the balance, right? Okay, the last two numbers, 68, and then the last number, which is the missing figure, 68, debit balance. Okay, in purchase ledger means you draw the lines first. Okay, draw the lines first. Okay, remember, balance always means balance PD. Okay, always look at balance as balance PD. So always write balance PD first, 68. Okay, then you move it up diagonally, 68, balance CD. Okay, missing number is where? Missing number is here. Okay, missing number we have to find ourselves. Okay, so I put question mark there. You don't put question mark there, okay? I'm just showing you that's the missing number. Complete the dates first. The date is October 1st, 2016. Okay, then here is the missing figure. Okay, now we have to find the missing number. You agree, right? All the numbers here are complete because there is no missing number there. Therefore, you can total up the credit side. Okay, total up the credit side. So I think this step should be simple. Okay, you have done it many times. So total up the credit side. 9806. Okay, copy this total to the other side. And then you can find this missing number by taking this number minus all the numbers above here. Five two two two. Okay, 5222. Okay, now I erase the question mark. I replace it with 5222. Mm, 68. Why? Why 68? Yes, I have summed this up. I have taken the 68 into account, right? 4210 plus 5366 plus 12 plus 150 plus 68. What about 68? I don't understand the question. Okay, just now I sum up this number, then I minus these numbers on the debit side because the missing figure I'm trying to find is here. Okay, when you have found this figure, then you know here is 5222. I think you have pressed wrongly. Ishin, you try to press again. You press wrongly. Okay, when you we need to be very careful. Okay, when we do things, we have to be very careful. I've calculated it quite a couple of times just now. Okay, 5222. Everyone else, you got the same figure, 5222. Okay, the rest can get the same figure, 5222. Okay, yeah. And then question D. Okay, so Ishin, you check the calculation again. If you cannot get, you try again. Okay, you must have made some mistake in your pressing. D and E. Suggest one advantage of paying to the credit suppliers before the due date. So is it good? Yeah, there are some benefits. You can get cash discount. Okay, when you pay on time, when you pay punctually, you can get cash discount. What is the name of the businesswoman? Amira. Okay, so Amira if it's a 2-mark question, they ask you to give 2 advantages, then you may have to write 1 more. Okay, so I'm writing more to let you recall what you have learned. Okay, so you don't have to write 2 in the exam when you see this question, but let's say you have written 1 advantage, you are not so sure whether your advantage is correct or not, it's okay to write 1 more line, okay, as a backup. Okay, no harm writing 1 more line if you have the time. So let's write 1 more. Suppliers would be very happy, right? Suppliers would be very happy, but we write something more professional. We talk about relationship. We use the word relationship. Relationship between Amira and the credit suppliers. Okay, will become better. Okay, suggest 1 disadvantage of paying the credit suppliers before the due date. So when you make payment earlier to the supplier, it also means that you will have less cash, right? You have less money. Okay, you have less money. You may face cash flow problem. So we write Amira may face cash flow problem. You get the idea, right? Cash flow problem means once in a while you may have the experience that you don't have enough money, okay, to pay for certain things. Cash flow problem. Yeah, Crystal, stronger relationship is also the same. Good. Yeah, same way of writing. Bad flow of cash and bank. Yeah, that's also correct. But quite rarely we describe it in that structure. Okay, usually we call it as cash flow. But your description is also correct. Okay, yeah. Now, let me scroll down. No more. Maybe let me write one more disadvantage for you here. So when you are lack of money, okay, when you are lack of money, when you see certain opportunities, you want to buy certain things. Let's say you want to buy goods for a cheaper price, but you don't have enough money at that time. Then let me talk about something else. Maybe you want to buy NCA. So when you have cash flow problem, then you may miss the chance of buying certain NCA at a discount maybe. Okay, let me try to phrase it. You copy, one more point I write for you. The word NCA, you should write it in full, okay? The word NCA, you should write it in full, but I'm just writing to save time here, NCA. Okay, may lose the discount opportunity when there's clearance sales of NCA. You know clearance sales, right? Have you been to clearance sales? Clearance sales of, let's say, popular bookstore. They always do clearance sales because they want to get rid of all the old books. When they do clearance sales, do they sell them at higher price when they do clearance sales? Of course, no, right? They sell at very much lower price. Okay, so clearance sales. Let's say there's somebody who is selling NCA, okay, and they are doing clearance sales, but you don't have enough money because you have used the money to pay for the supplier. So you lose the discount opportunity. Okay, you don't get the chance to buy. No. Here is about the clearance sales. I'm not going to talking about the suppliers right now. Okay, I'm not talking about the suppliers right now. I'm trying to link these two situations together. Okay. Current sales of NCA is somebody else who is selling NCA, okay, for clearance. Okay. So Amira has used the money to pay to the credit suppliers, right? And then a few days later, Amira come across a clearance sales for NCA, but Amira cannot buy anymore because she doesn't have enough money. She had used the money to pay to the supplier earlier. Okay, due to not having enough funds. Okay, I think that's it for paper 2. Now we get to paper 1 for the chapter 11 to 15. Okay, so it took us some time for the paper 2, but I think it's worth it because I need to make sure that you can do all the questions. So you know which is the next paper, right? The paper 1. This one. Okay, when you are ready, you let me know. Okay, when you have the paper with you, you let me know. Okay, to remind you what we are doing, let me show you the email. Okay, I sent you the email some time ago. Okay, this is the email that I sent to you many weeks ago, okay, on 5th of October. Okay, at the time I told you that you have finished learning the whole subject, and for the next few lessons, I was going to do all this with you. Okay, so we have discussed paper 1, we have discussed paper 2, paper 1, paper 2, and now we are here. Okay, we are here. So it took us about how many months? About 2 months to finish the first 4 papers here. Okay, now we are here. We come back to this paper 1. So this paper 1 will cover all the things you learn from part 1 to part 15 of my materials. Okay, let's go through. After that, we will move on to discussing past exam papers by papers. Okay, now we are kind of doing it like topic by topic. Okay, kind of like topic by topic. Okay, now let's look at that. So must remember, paper 1, you always get 35 MCQ question, multiple choice question, means those ABCD question, and it's always 1 hour and 15 minutes. So how much time should you spend? How much time should you spend on every question? You can try to do the math here. 75 minutes, right? This is the same as 75 minutes. So 75 divided by 35 question. Is that the way you calculate? Yes. 2.14 minutes. So time management is important. Yeah. You must try not to be in a situation where you find that you don't have enough time. Okay. So time management is important. 2.14 minutes per every question. So if you round it up, means 2 minutes for every question. But of course, if you see a question where that's very easy, if you see a question that's very easy, and you can spend maybe just 20 seconds finishing it, you don't wait for the 2 minutes to finish, then only you move on to the next question, okay? Let's say you are doing this first question, and within 15 seconds, you know the answer is B. Then you tell yourself that, okay, 2 minutes is not up yet. So I sit here and rest. Okay, then after 2 minutes have finished, then I move on to the next question. Don't do so, okay? But I think you won't, okay? It's something, it's logical thing to know. Okay, so for easy questions, you can maybe do them faster so that you can use the time for certain questions that may make you spend more than 2 minutes. Okay, possible. Certain questions may make you spend 3 to 4 minutes, but for sure there will be some questions that will be less challenging. You spend less time on them. Okay, so you get what I mean. Now, question 1. Sorry, there's no question number written next to the questions because each of these questions, they come from different sources. Okay, now let's start with the first one. Correction of accounting error. It is something that you will surely see in the exam. Okay, so let's see what entries are needed to correct this error. They're asking you to do correction. How do you correct this error? Receipt of 800 from Jamal, credit customer. Okay, when I see the term had been, when I see the term was, were, okay, I stop reading here because we have found the transaction. This is the transaction. Okay, so first step, finish. We have found the transaction. Step 2, determine what we should do with this first. Okay, what should be the correct entries for this transaction? Receipt of 800 from Jamal means we receive money from Jamal. Okay, Jamal is a debtor. Jamal owes us money, so they pay us money right now. You will debit bank or cash, then you credit Jamal. Okay, these are the supposed entries, the should be entries, the supposed entries. Okay, after I've done the first 2 steps, then only I see what they did, okay, what they have done. Then I make a comparison. So I continue to read. Was recorded as a receipt of 880 in the account of James. Okay. So this is what they have done. Now, they don't tell you exactly what they debited, what they credited, but you have to interpret this yourself. So what they have done is they have debited cash or bank 880, and they have credited James 880. This is what they have done. Okay, how do I know? When you have done enough questions for this topic, you must know what to assume. You have to know what to assume. When they don't mention anything about the cash book, when they have not mentioned anything about the cash book, you have to assume that is correct. Okay, so they didn't say that they debited the cash or bank wrongly, right? So we have to assume that is correct. So they have debited cash or bank, but the amount is wrong. Okay, they debited cash or bank is correct, but the amount is wrong because they said recorded as 880. Correct amount is 800, right? Correct amount is 800, but they use 880. Then there's one more mistake. Hold on, yeah. Let me try to see this again. They say in the accounts of James, meaning in the cash book, the amount is correct. Sorry, I overlooked. They say they recorded it as 880 in the account of James. Cash book has no problem. Let me erase this. In the cash book, they use 800. Okay, so the assumption here is they debited cash or bank with 800 correctly. The mistake is here. This is the mistake. This is also the mistake, right? Okay. So what you should do? You should remove their mistake first, right? You should remove their mistake first. So remove mistake by debiting James 880. Okay, so everyone, if you can understand why I debit James 880, you let me know. You understand? Before I continue. Okay, have to first understand why I debit James 880. Because they credited James, right? So I debit James to remove their error. Okay, good. Kelly and Crystal understand. I wait for the rest. Chris, okay. Ishin, you're okay with the debiting James 880? I'm removing their mistake. Okay, now I continue. So after you have removed their mistake, what else to do? Do you think that they have recorded into Jamal account? Of course, no, right? Because they touched James account instead. So we have to touch Jamal account right now. We have to touch Jamal account right now. So we have to credit Jamal. Okay, so after removing their mistake, we help them to record correctly. We have to record correctly. Have to record correctly. So help them to record correctly. I should credit Jamal. Agree, right? Because we should credit Jamal. Okay. So credit Jamal, how much? 800, right? Because the amount is supposed to be 800. Okay. Agree, yeah? We should credit Jamal 800. But you see, we have done a debit entry with 880 and then crediting with 800. Is it okay? No. For both the debit and credit side, you must have the same amount. So what is lacking here? When you see that there's nothing else to be done, meaning you have removed the mistake made, you have helped them to record it correctly. When you see that there's nothing else to do, it means that you need an entry into the suspense account. You need an entry in the suspense account. Yes. So you credit suspense with 80. You don't have to think whether you should debit suspense or credit suspense at the beginning. Whether you have to do something to the suspense account or not, you would know it naturally when you have done everything else first. Okay, focus on removing mistake, focus on recording it correctly first, then you would know whether you need an entry in the suspense account or not. Therefore, answer is what? D. Answer is donkey. Okay, can recall that's how we solve correction of error topic kind of questions. Okay, so find the transaction, see what should be done, then see what they did, then you focus on doing correction. So I remove their mistake, debit James, then I help them to record it correctly, credit Jamal. Then if you see that there's nothing else to be done, you must have an entry in the suspense. When they say receipt, is it always balance CD? No, receipt means you receive money from Jamal. So I think it has nothing to do with CD or, oh, okay, I thought carry down, not C/D. Okay, when they say, when they don't mention to you whether it's cash or bank, right? They don't mention to you whether it's cash or check, therefore cash/bank. Cash, C/B is cash/bank, yeah? Correct, yeah, you're right. When the reason I write cash/bank is because it's not because of the word receipt. It's not because of the word receipt. If they say receipt of cash of 800, then that means we know it's cash, right? So I will debit cash. If they say a receipt of cash of 800, but they don't mention to you here whether it's cash or check, therefore I write cash or bank. You get the idea? It's not because of the word receipt here. Receipt means receiving money. The reason I write cash or bank is because they don't mention to you whether it's cash or check here. Ishin can understand? How do I know it must be money? Because receipt means receiving money. The word receipt means receiving money, but I do not know whether it's cash or check. I do not know whether it's cash or check. Therefore, I write cash/bank. Okay, not because of the word receipt. So I write cash/bank. It is because I do not know whether it's cash or check. So I write cash/bank. Okay, and then Kelly asked me, okay, let me explain again why I create suspense with 80. Because the credit entry, I'm lack of 80. That's why I create suspense with 80. Okay, I look at the side with a smaller number. So it's 800 here. Therefore, I need another 80. So that I can get both the debit and credit side having the same number, 880. Kelly can understand because the credit entry is lack of 80. So I need this entry. Okay, so answer is D. Honestly, paper 1 is always more challenging than paper 2. Okay, because sometimes paper 1 questions, you need to do a lot of steps before you can get to the final answer, but they still just 1 mark. Okay, so it's not easy for paper 1. Okay, now continue. Okay, this is also not easy. which effect did the correction of this error have on the draft profit for the year? They're asking you, after you have done correction, what is the effect to the profit for the year? Okay, after you have done correction of the error, what is the effect to the profit for the year? Okay, so let's see. Carriage outwards, 600. Okay. Was posted to the debit side of the carriage inwards account. Okay. So carriage outward is an expense. Okay. Carriage outward is an expense. Carriage inward is also an expense. Okay. It's also an expense. So they say that instead of debiting carriage outward, they debited carriage inward. So what is the consequence? Consequence is this. Another way of interpreting this is they recorded the carriage outward as carriage inward. Okay, they recorded the carriage outward as carriage inward. Consequence, let me draw for you a before and after income statement. Okay, a before and after income statement. $600. Oh, I didn't notice of the amount as well. The amount is 400 here, right? They recorded it as 400 also, which is also another mistake. Okay, two mistakes. Yeah, there are two parts to this mistake. First mistake is they recorded it as carriage inward, which is wrong. Second mistake is they used 400. Okay, so to let you see clearly, it's good to draw up a before and after income statement. Yeah, have to be very careful, okay, when you look at every words here. Just now, initially, I didn't notice the 400. Okay, and then one of you told me just now, you didn't notice that this is carriage inward. Okay, so we have to be very careful. Even if I know how to do all the questions, I may overlook certain things, okay, if I'm not careful enough. Okay, now, do a before and after income statement. This one is the one that's wrong, the one with mistake. This one is the one that is corrected. Okay, the correct income statement. Why do I come up with income statement? Because I need to see the effect to the profit for the year. Profit for the year is here. Profit for the year is here. Okay, I need to see the effect. When you draw up the income statement, then it will look very clear. Let's do it correctly first, shall we? The correct one is easy to do. Let's say you have, no, we just record it here. Carriage outward, 600. Agree? Carriage outward, 600. Let's say the gross profit is 1,000. Okay, let's make it 1,000. Just example, okay? So 1,000 minus 600. Then you will get 400, right? Okay. So the correct income statement profit for the year is 400. Okay, if I do it correctly. So I have to keep the gross profit constant here, 1,000. Okay, let's say the revenue is also 1,000. And sorry, let's make it another figure. Let's say revenue is 2,000. Okay, revenue is 2,000. Okay, keep this constant. Less cost of sales, less cost of sales. Oh yeah, let me try another way. Carriage inward account 400. Carriage inward account. I erase certain things first, and I want to explain to you more clearly. Do you know where is carriage inward? Carriage inward is inside the cost of sales here. Okay, and then they said they recorded it as 400. Okay, so this is the mistake that they have made. Agree? Okay. And what will happen to the profit for the year? So carriage inward is 400. I need more space. Okay, hold on. Let me open up another page. I don't have enough space. That's the problem. Hold on, yeah, 1 minute. Okay, so I do the before and after income statement on the right hand side. Okay, I have more space here, easier. This is income statement, the wrong one. This is the correct one. Okay, let's say you have revenue 10,000, then less cost of sales. Okay, purchases is here, maybe 900. Okay, 900. So let's say there's no closing inventory, no opening inventory, those things. Okay, so you straight away minus the 900, right? Okay, so you get 99100, right? Sorry, too big. 9100. Is that correct? So this is gross profit. So if you do it correctly, your cash outward is here. Okay, you have to minus carriage outward, right? That's an expense. 600. So profit for the year is how much? 8500. Okay, yeah, so this is the correct situation. Okay, I recorded it as carriage outward $600. Now move on to the wrong income statement. Move on to the wrong income statement. So revenue remains constant. Okay, I need to make all these things constant. And purchases is also constant, 900. Okay. So the mistake they make here is they recorded it as carriage inward 400, right? They recorded it as carriage inward 400. Carriage inward is here, 400. Okay, so this is the mistake that they have made. So what will be the effect to the profit for the year? 900 plus 400, you will put 900 plus 400, 1003. Then you will minus from the 10,000, how much? 8700. Then profit for the year is 8700. Okay, do I need to write carriage outward here? No, because I'm doing the income statement that is wrong. The income statement that is wrong, they didn't record it as carriage outward. Okay, they recorded it as carriage inward. Therefore, what is the effect? You can now easily see. It has become lower by 200. Therefore, answer is A. If you want to get the answers the safest way, then you do this. Okay, really, it's not easy. Okay, I know it will take you some time also, right? But if I'm explaining to you by doing these workings, but if you are fast in the thought process, then you can do it faster. When I'm doing this myself in the exam, let's say I'm in the exam, I think I will still do this because I will find the answer more safely. Yeah, Ishan, you can also do it that way if you can think quickly and correctly. But I will still go for the safest way, which is drawing up the before and after income statement. It looks clearer because I've made mistakes involving these questions before. Okay, especially income statement. And another thing is they use different amounts. One is 600, another is 400. Okay, but if you can think fast, your math is okay, then you can do it faster without drawing up the income statement. Okay, so answer is A. Okay, next, this one. Everyone, I would like you to try this one. You tell me what is your choice. What is a compensating error? So this question, you should look at A, B, C, D. Look at all the A, B, C, D. Okay, for those who have done, you can give me your answer. For those who have yet to finish, you can maybe spend 2 minutes. Okay, look through it. You tell me your choice. Let me drink some water, okay, while you're still thinking. Okay, I've got 2 answers here. Let me wait for the rest. Okay, I have to tell you the answer now. Answer should be C. Okay, now let's see why the rest are not the answer, and also understand why C is the answer. Okay, we go through everything together. So compensating error, you must remember, there must be at least 2 transactions. There must be at least 2 transactions. Transaction 1, transaction 2, okay, which are about different things. Okay, transaction 1 is about something, transaction 2 is about something else. In transaction 1, you make some mistake. In transaction 2, you also make some mistake. But both errors, the error from transaction 1, the error from transaction 1 offset the error from transaction 2. Okay, and let's see which one it is. A, credit sales. Credit sales means sell goods on credit. We should debit customer, credit sales account, right? Okay. They say they debited to sales account. Is this correct? No, they should credit sales, right? But they debited. And credited to the customer's account. No, they should debit, right? Anybody can tell me what error is this? Okay, in the chat box. What is the name of the first error? Quite simple. Yes, good, Kelly. Okay, anybody else wants to try? First one is what error? I guess you cannot remember the name of the error. That's the problem. Okay, you see, in paper 2, they may ask you to name the error. So if you have no idea what are the 6 names, then you don't have any option. Okay, if you can only recall a few, then quite likely you will choose the wrong answer. This one is error of complete reversal. Okay, you see, must also remember the names of all the errors. Okay, don't expect that they will give you options to choose. So error of complete reversal. Yeah. Okay. They have done it the other way around. The one that they should debit, they go and credit. The one that they should credit, they go and debit. B, purchase of fixtures on credit, buy fixtures on credit. So you should credit credit the supplier account, right? Then you debit fixture. This is what should have been done. Then you see what they did. They say they debited repairs to fixtures account. So this is the mistake. They debited repairs account. They debited repairs account. They should have debited fixtures account. So repairs is an expense, right? Repairs is an expense. Fixture is an NCA. Both the wrong and correct account belong to different categories of items. One is expense, another is NCA. Yeah, Ishin, correct. Anybody else you want to try? What is the name of this error? Yeah, I give you 20 seconds. Okay, those who want to try, you type your answer. Name to the error B. Good, Kelly. Error of principle. Okay, error of principle. Okay. Now we look at the D. Look at D. Young's account. Not sure that's how you pronounce. Okay, Young's account credited with check received from Young, another customer. So the transaction is this. Okay, you receive a check from Young. That's the transaction. So we should debit bank, credit Young, right? But what they did, they credited Young instead. So both the wrong and correct account belongs to the same category of item. Okay, because both are person's name, we say that they are in the same category. So this is error of commission. Okay. So which is the answer? For sure is C. No other options here. Sales account it has got to do with selling goods. Sale returns account has got to do with customer returning goods back to us. So I know they are linked to one another, but we are talking about two different accounts here. Undercast by the same amount. Undercast means understated. Okay, have to remember the synonym, understated, by the same amount. So the situation is this: sales account, sale returns account. Let's say you have 500 here, you have 555 here. Okay, sale returns account, you should have the amount on the debit side. Okay, you have 555 here. So they're telling you that here is lack of 50. Here is also lack of 50. Okay, so credit side of sales account lack of 50, debit side of sales returns account lack of 50. Therefore, offset one another. Okay, so this is error of compensating error. Okay, now we see the next one. We see two more questions. Okay, next page. How to correct this error, they ask you. Okay. Abdul, all these are past exam questions, okay, that I extracted from the past exam papers. They are super relevant. So how to correct this error? Again, go through the 4 steps. First step, find the transaction first. And then step 2, see what should be done. Step 3, see what they did. Step 4, do correction. So this is step 1. We found the transaction. Abdul sold goods on credit to Yasmin. Honestly, with this sentence, we do not know who we are yet. Okay, you have to know who you are, then only you know how to record. Yasmin recorded both the, okay, now we know we are Yasmin. The person who records is us. We are Yasmin. Okay. Abdul sold goods on credit to Yasmin means we buy goods on credit from Abdul. Agree? We buy goods on credit from Abdul. You see, knowing who we are is very important in the first place. Okay, otherwise you would do wrongly. So we buy goods on credit from Abdul. We debit purchases. This is a step 2, the should be entry. Okay, the entries are supposed to be what? Debit purchases, credit Abdul. These are the supposed entries. Okay, should look like this. Then only I go and see what they did. Yasmin recorded both the debit and credit entries for this transaction as 25. So the mistake is quite obvious here, unless you are careless in looking at the question. The mistake is, maybe you could also be thinking, can this be a mistake made by the publisher? Don't try to think of it that way. Okay, Cambridge, they do a lot of the review many times. Okay, they do the review many times when they come up with the questions to let you do in the exam. So it would not be a mistake made by the printer. So this is lack of how much? Lack of 225. right? Okay. And did they tell you what they debited and what they credited? Did they tell you what account they have debited and what account they have credited? No, right? They didn't tell you, right? When they didn't tell you something like this, you assume that they have chosen the correct side. They have chosen the correct side. They debited purchases, they credited up to with 25. So how to correct the mistake? You want to increase it, right? You want to increase it, right? So you do the entry at the same side further. So you debit purchases further by 225. You credit up to further by 225. This is 225, yeah, 225. Therefore, answer is C. Okay, so 10 seconds. Okay, I let you digest and then we look at one more question, then we dismiss. Okay, have question you ask, yeah, about this one. Otherwise, move on to the next one. Okay, yeah, so I think you're okay with this one. Challenge once again is you must know who you are. You are Yasmin in this question. Okay, this one. This time is better. They have given you the names of the errors. So what types of errors are these examples of? Trial balance completed, agreed. Okay, that means the total debit equals to the total credit. But does it guarantee that there's no error? Cannot, yeah? Okay, you must remember, certain exam questions may ask you, can preparing a trial balance guarantee that there's no accounting error? Cannot, okay? There are some errors that will not affect the trial balance. Okay, two errors found. First one, second one, repair to a machine. Okay, what should be done for this? You should credit cash or bank. Okay, when you pay for repairs, you credit cash or bank, right? Then you should debit repairs account. But what they did, they say incorrectly debited the machinery account. Instead of debiting repair, they debited machinery. Debiting machinery means buy machinery, which is wrong. Okay, yeah. So I think the answer looks obvious now. Okay, so what is the answer, everyone? Okay, Crystal and Ishin have given answer. Okay, the rest, what is your choice? Okay, wait for Wenjun Wenhui. Oh, Ishin, previous question is correct. Answer C. Answer is C. Wenjun Wenhui, your choice for this. Answer is D. Okay, answer is D. So if you want to be safe, you can look at the transition 2 again and see if it is consistent with the answer here also. Okay, so cash taken by owner for his own use had not been recorded in the accounts. No debit done, no credit has been done, so error of omission. Answer is D. Okay, so next week at the same time, we continue with this paper. We continue with the next question, okay, on this page. So if you want to attempt all the questions, okay, I encourage you to do so. For the second one is, yeah, debit drawing, credit cash, correct? Ishin. Okay, so I see you again next week. Bye, everyone. Have a nice day. Welcome, everyone.